there's pressure on the play by Lawson. To the end zone, caught for a touchdown. Boyd gets it right in front of Hall. A 10-yard touchdown throw. The lead is 10. White. Underneath he goes. Johnson. Look at him take it to the pylon. And there comes the flag. Yep, we're going to look at it.
The runner did not step out of bounds. It is a touchdown.
The Jets are coming out playing. Oh, it was picked off. Lawson. To the end zone. They got the lead. Handoff to Moore. Back to Crowder. They got the two to the quarterback. White. Here they come. Down he goes. Hit on the play by Sheldon Rankins.
They will go to victory formation and pull off a big upset.
Jets, baby! I really appreciate everybody in this room for not flinching and trusting in me and all my teammates. We just get out there and executed. That's all it was. That's all it was. Let's break it down. Hey, enjoy this one, boys. Enjoy this one. Hey, family on three. 1, 2, 3, family!
There you go. Have the day, dog. Offense, great drive.
Go, go!
Up. 1, 2, 3,
All right, welcome into practice today, presented by SiriusXM. Ethan Greenberg, Eric Allen here in the BetMGM studio. The Jets right now conducting a walkthrough. We can't be giving away state secrets, so we won't show practice, but don't worry. We still have a great show on deck. We just saw a great video to start the top of the show. What was your favorite part about Sunday's win, EA?
I loved it all. I mean, how can you not? NFL history was made. Mike White becoming the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for more than 300 yards in his debut and connect on more than 75% of his passes. But hell of a team win considering that the previous week the Jets had lost by 41 points to the Patriots, and there were a couple of times when they could have went away in this game. Down 17-7 before the half, White leads them right down the field. Keelan Cole's great catch is overturned. Next play, he goes to Braxton Berrios, and Berrios makes a great catch down there in front of the boundary to make it 17-14. And we just saw it, 31-20. You're down 11 with just a few minutes on the clock, and the Jets never went away. So I think there's too many moments for us to choose just one. What a game. And you were at MetLife Sunday. I wanted to ask you about the atmosphere.
The atmosphere was unbelievable. I mean, we saw in the video before, the crowd started chanting Mike White. I mean, it was a really cool game, and whether you look at the plays you talked about, the Lawson interception, I mean, how about this? 60 teams this season, 60 teams in the NFL, have been trailing by double-digit points with 5 minutes left in the game. Only one of them have come back and won, and that, the New York Jets.
Yeah, and how about Mike White? He completed his first 11 passes, becoming the first Jets quarterback to go at least 10 for 10 since Shea Pennington in 2003. So the Jets take care of their first quarter woes, ending that first possession on a Michael Carter touchdown. And White was the first Jets quarterback since Vinny Testaverde in 2000 to throw for more than 2,000 yards. I meant more than 2,000 yards. I'm getting ahead of myself. To throw for more than 400 yards. That's 20 years. That's 20 years. So the Jets, what a performance. And Mike White spread the football out around, too. Distributing the ball to 10 different targets.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mike White to be talked about on this show. But let's move to today's headline, which is not about Mike White. It's about the short week. Right, the Jets travel to Indianapolis. They play on Thursday Night Football. So what type of challenge does that present? And how do they go about preparing for the Colts on a short week?
Well, the biggest challenge is your body, right? Because you play a very physical ball game against the Cincinnati Bengals, and you turn around and you have to play a couple days later. But I was impressed with both the Jets' young players and veterans talking about the regen. They started that Sunday night. So as opposed to going out, maybe celebrating on the town, you had a rookie running back, Michael Carter, who, oh, by the way, was tremendous against the Bengals. He said he got in the cold tub Sunday night. And Sheldon Rankins, a veteran defensive tackle who came up with a key sack late in that game, he said it's a one-game season every week in the National Football League. So you have to quickly turn the page, but the key is making sure you take care of your body, because these guys were sore Monday. It's Tuesday already. You're playing in no time, Thursday night football.
And that's why the Jets are conducting walkthrough right now, not a typical practice. And this team, you talk about Michael Carter, this team's very young. A couple of the guys are familiar with Thursday night football, such as somebody like C.J. Mosley. Let's hear how he's preparing for this week's game in Indianapolis.
You build out this momentum that we've created. And like you said, the good teams find a way to win games, back to back, win games in a row. So that's what we have to do this weekend. We can't help that it's a Thursday night game and it's a quick turnaround. Good teams don't make excuses; they just go do it, and we just have to go do it some kind of way, as long as we come back with a win.
You're playing a Colts team, which we know is capable. They've got some playmakers on both sides of the football. National TV, on the road, short week. In terms of that quick turnaround, what is it going to take you over the next couple of days to make sure that your body is as close to 100% as possible to go out there and get ready to lay it on the line again for 60 minutes?
A lot of regen, a lot of rest going into this game, and like I said before, this week is more mental than physical preparation. We're built and we know what to do when we step on the football field. Whether we don't go over one play or not, we're gonna play our football game. So it's all about our mental preparation, knowing our game plan and studying the Colts for this short week. So we got a lot of presentations we got to put together in a few days. So this week is all about mental preparation.
Great seeing C.J. Mosley back on the field Sunday. Great advice from C.J. Mosley there. And that clip was from Inside the Jets with Dan Grassa and Bart Scott. EA, just real quickly on the Colts here, they're under 500, but they've also been in a lot of games. You feel like their record is not indicative of their talent?
I think you got to go back to the old Bill Parcells line. You are what your record says you are. And the Colts, yes, they do have some elite players on that team, but they've been unable to finish in multiple situations. And we saw that last week in a huge game against the Tennessee Titans. In fact, Darius Leonard, the star linebacker for the Colts, said that was a must-win last week, and they were unable to get that done in overtime. They've been right there with very good teams. Most recently it was Tennessee. Then a couple weeks ago it was against the Baltimore Ravens on Monday night when they had the Ravens dead to rights. They've been unable to finish, so they find themselves in a 3-5 spot right now. They're going to be desperate. But the Jets have an opportunity to move to 3-5 all of a sudden.
And we'll see what happens Thursday night. But moving on to our Jet in Focus here. Not a surprise, just one of two players in the NFL who threw for over 400 yards in his first NFL start. That, number 5, Mike White. EA, what impressed you most about his performance as we take a look at his numbers?
Nothing was too big for him. I mean, for people who were surprised, I think we got some information leading into the game last week when Jets players said, I think Ty Johnson came out early last week and said, come on, man, it's Mike White. And people were like, what do you mean it's Mike White? Well, he kind of showed what he was made of. Very prepared, very cool, starting the game. This is the first play from scrimmage right there. That easily could have been a negative play, but he dumps it off to Michael Carter, and you get 9 yards. Why is that key? Because it keeps the offense on schedule. And throughout the game, there's the game winner to Tyler Kroft, of course. And how about the Philly special? You like this play call?
Can we call it? Do we have to call it the Philly special?
No.
What do we call it?
Let's call it the White special.
The White special, okay.
But he kept the Jets on schedule. Cincinnati was giving up the underneath stuff, and he was taking it. He went to Ty Johnson. He went to Michael Carter. Very accurate with the football, very decisive. And again, we talk about how long does it take for a quarterback to get rid of the football. Oftentimes, against the Bengals, it was less than 2.5 seconds. In fact, if you go back and look, on a lot of those throws, it was less than 2 seconds. He was processing quick, getting the ball out, and he just played confident throughout. was not deterred by the 2 interceptions. That shows you a lot about his moxie, because a lot of guys would have been like, yeah, it started strong, but oops, 2 interceptions. I don't know. I'm going to go in a hole here. He never went in a hole.
What's amazing when you look at the completion percentage and you take a look at just the amount of pass attempts and the completions, 2 of them were interceptions. So let's just say they were checkdowns. That percentage, we're going even higher than it is. But obviously Mike White's performance caused a stir on social media. So let's take a look at some of the reactions here. We got some celebrations. We got some players involved. You know what? Let's start with a guy who hasn't been playing for the Jets because he's been hurt. Right. Mekhi Becton, always watching his green and white. And here's a tweet. Mike White with a little GIF. I don't really know what it is. I probably should. It's probably a good reference because the trending topic, the big ticket, is very funny on Twitter, EA.
Oh, yeah, he's up on all of it. And a big-time supporter. The thing about Becton, he's always smiling. He's a happy guy, and you know he's a great teammate.
All right, moving on to tweet number 2. How about a team captain, a special teams captain? Justin Hardy tweeted. I mean, every Jet tweeted. Everybody was going or giving Mike White some love. But Justin Hardy says he's not surprised. Kind of like what Ty Johnson said. Yeah. He's seen it in practice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Jets continued to say that throughout last week leading up to the game. And how about Shaq Lawson, who came up with that key interception late in the game? Mike White, a real dog. and what did Ty say after the game?
He said
he's Mike a dog.
Oh, he also said
he's a savage.
Yeah.
He's an animal and something else.
And something else but to be fair, Ty didn't cuss.
No.
So he said the PG version.
No, I thought it was appropriate.
All right, and this is the most important thing. You can vote for your FedEx Air Player of the Week, the guy in the middle there. How can it not be Mike White?
It has to be him. Come on. Brady went down on Sunday.
Yeah, and Stafford got pulled after whatever. And none of them have a 4 to start their passing.
Yeah, come on. This one's easy. This is all about history. Mike White did something that nobody else in the National Football League has ever done before.
I think the answer is easy, but make sure to vote. And for a closer look at White's performance, let's go inside the film room with Brian Baldinger in this week's Baldy's Breakdown presented by Sharp.
Mike White made his first start. And on the first play of the game, he avoids pressure and gets the ball to Michael Carter. It was an omen of things to come, as Carter had 24 touches, 172 yards, and a touchdown. And this touchdown pass, when Mike White spread the Jets out against the Bengals come after Mike White right here, and he makes this throw to Braxton Berrios in the slot against the Bengals' best corner, Cheeto Wutzia. And there's a toe tap drag, and the Jets cut the lead before the half, 17-14. And then in the second half, Jeff Smith over here, number 16 for the Jets in a bunch formation, is going to clear the middle, and it's going to open up the second window for Elijah Moore, the rookie, who had a good day. Good day all the way around. That play for 24 yards, a number of big throws right there by Mike White to get him over 400 for the day, including this one right here, when he throws it to Johnson out of the backfield on just a little check down screen right here. And Johnson stiff arms Logan Wilson. He beats Cheeto right there and then finds a way to get the ball to the pylon as the Jets cut the lead 31-26. But Mike White wasn't done. This is the game winner right here. 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. He looks at the 2 receiver side at the bottom, and he doesn't like it. But he's got protection, he's got time. And Tyler Kroft, the former Bengal, on a stick nod over the middle, scores the game-winning touchdown. But it was everybody up front. The offensive line did their job. Both sides, they slide to the right here to Ogunjobi and Hendrickson. And then they pass the stunt here with Reeder and Hubbard. And Mike White has time to find Tyler Kroft for the game winner. But Mike White wasn't quite done yet. There was still a 2-point conversion right here that they go for. When Mike White brings the rookie, Elijah Moore, in the backfield, he's sandwiched between 2 rookies, Michael Carter and Elijah Moore. And right here, it's just the Jets special. Elijah Moore to Jamison Crowder to Mike White. And just like that, Mike White's first NFL start, a win against the Bengals, throws for over 400 yards. Could it get any better than that in front of the Jets crowd cheering him on?
All right, the next time you can see the Jets live at MetLife Stadium, couple weeks, you got to see the Jets hosting the Bills. on Sunday, November 14th, and the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, November 21st. You got to lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets. All right, we know that the Jets are conducting a walkthrough. There still is a roster report, an injury report, and for that, where you have to focus on the offensive line because a lot of these names did not play against the Bengals. Corey Davis didn't play. Tevin Coleman didn't play. Huff, Wesco, and Wilson also did not play. But sandwiched in there in the graphic, how about George Fant, who's done a real nice job at left tackle for the Jets ever since Mekhi went down?
Yeah, you were just talking about Becton before, right? He went down in week 1, and Fant was actually lining up at right tackle at the time. Way back in week 1, remember, it was Fant who started at right tackle, not Morgan Moses. He makes the transition over to left tackle. And Fant has been really good for the Jets, protecting the blind side of those quarterbacks. Now, Chuma Edoga, who we just saw on Baldy's highlight right there, he's the guy who lined up at left tackle against the Cincinnati Bengals, of course. I think it would be huge for the Jets if Fant is able to start again against the Colts. If not, Chuma Edoga will be a man in focus. There's no doubt about that. And I thought he did some good things. But so far, these tackles, I think people were very concerned about what was going to happen after Becton went out. I think they've held up quite well, and they've played, they've given Mike White and Zach Wilson a lot of time to throw.
Well, and also this is part of the reason why Joe Douglas brought in a guy like Morgan Moses, just in case one of your tackles does get hurt. This is exactly how it played out. Obviously, you don't want to see any injuries, but the Jets tackles, Morgan Moses and George Fant, have played very well. I'm curious your thoughts on this. Do you feel like Sunday's performance, after looking at what Baldy said, after watching the game, feel like maybe Sunday was debatably their best performance as a collective unit?
Maybe. You have to go back to the Patriots game, too. I know there was a couple sacks late in the game when the Jets were in a must-throw situation, but remember, they rushed for 152 yards. Again, you got to credit. When offensively it looks good, everybody's doing their job. And the quarterback's getting the ball out on time, and we saw that with White. I thought, yeah, the Jets, again, this was another game where they were the better team on both lines of scrimmage. And the other thing, you just read a tickets promo about coming out to MetLife Stadium. The Jets have put on a good product at MetLife Stadium this year. They were the better team against the Patriots except for the turnover. They were better in turnovers. They were better in the trenches. They took down the Tennessee Titans. They took down the Cincinnati Bengals. That next home game is going to be fun because you got 10 days to prepare for the Buffalo Bills. I can't wait for that one.
All right. And also, we were talking about Mekhi Becton earlier. Well, Jets fans, if you want to learn how to make some epic game day eats with Mekhi Becton, go to madeforjetswatching.com and download the recipe cards for amazing dishes like Pepsi glazed ribs. Pepsi is the official soft drink of the New York Jets. All right, it's time for our Stats Amazing segment, and let's actually hear from Cynthia Freeland, of course, the NFL Network's analytics expert.
Thanks, Ethan and EA. Here are 3 numbers that you need to know this week. The first number, 82.2. We cannot say it enough. That's Mike White's completion percentage on his 45 pass attempts that netted 405 yards, 3 touchdowns in the big upset of the Bengals in Week 8. He had at least an 80% rate to receivers aligned wide, tight, in the slot, and from the backfield. That's very impressive. Plus 15 is the second number. Michael Carter earned a plus 15 rush yards over expected on 77 yards, meaning an average running back would have only netted 62 on the downs and distances he faced. He also had 69 yards and a touchdown on 12 rushes when facing 7 or fewer defenders in the box. That's a 5.8 yard average. The third number is 11. The Jets defense earned 11 total pressures, including a pivotal interception by Shaq Lawson in the fourth quarter and the game-sealing sack by Sheldon Rankins. However, this doesn't tell the full picture, as Next Gen Stats shows that the Jets' win probability got down to only 4%, which goes to show just how much of a team win this was.
All right, great stuff from Cynthia, as always. It's time for the Roundtable here on Practice Today, presented by SiriusXM.
Is this table round? It's
no, but if we had another half, it would be round. It's round. It's half round. All right, here we go. It's a semicircle. So, can we call it the semicircle table?
Sure.
All right, time for the semicircle table here on Practice Today, presented by SiriusXM. Question number 1, which Jets offensive player has caught your eye the most so far throughout the season?
Well, last week it was Mike White. Again, Corey Davis had, 4 touchdown catches through 6 games, so that's a heck of a start to his Jets career. Hopefully he's back in the lineup very soon again. 10 different Jets caught footballs on Sunday, including Michael Carter. The 4th-round pick out of North Carolina. He leads the Jets with 279 rush yards. He has 3 touchdowns in the past 4 games. He's averaging 3.8 yards per carry. But listen to these stats as far as Michael Carter, the receiver. 26 catches, 2nd among all rookie running backs, and 8th overall amongst all rookies. This is a dual threat who had more than 100 yards against the Patriots, and then he comes back the next week against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he threatens 200 yards. I love what the Jets are getting out of Michael Carter. And in fact, this week, myself and Leger Duzable got a chance to talk to the Jets rookie on the official Jets podcast.
Coming into the game, did you feel like you were going to get targeted that many times in the game?
No. I mean, I'm always ready for any occasion, but I think like my mindset is always, how can I make my impact in this game? How can I help our team win? So for me, it was just about just being ready, and then whenever my time came, just take advantage of the opportunity.
But now you got 3 rush touchdowns in the last 4 games. You're making this a habit.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm trying to make it a habit. I love touchdowns. I'm a touchdown guy more than a field goal guy. So I'm actually trying to get it in.
Oh, that was pretty good. Touchdown guy more than a field goal guy, Michael Carter. So
I like touchdown guys.
Yeah, we're all touchdown guys here on Practice Today, presented by SiriusXM. I love Michael Carter. I spoke to him after the game, and he said, my performance today against the Bengals won't help me on Thursday. He's a veteran. He's a rookie, but he's a veteran.
Special dude, and you knew that
yes.
when you talked to Mac Brown back there in the offseason after the Jets drafted him.
Yes, I did. But I'm going with another rookie, Elijah Vera Tucker, the Jets' first-round pick, number 14 overall. I've been really impressed with AVT. And you think about where he started with the Jets, right? He gets hurt in in training camp, doesn't play in the preseason. Feels like he's really coming on strong, especially the last couple weeks. He was PFF's top-graded offensive lineman a couple weeks ago. Think about that play to Braxton Berrios, the Mike White touchdown. Well, Baldy broke it down. Daniel Jeremiah tweeted it. Both fantastic plays. He handles 2 players, essentially, at once, and it was very impressive. I'm going with AVT. EA's going with Michael Carter. Question number 2. Which Jets defensive player has caught your eye most this season?
Well, C.J. Mosley would be right up there. But for this exercise, I'm making this a Michael Carter special. I'm going Michael Carter, the 2nd out of Duke. So far this season, here, the stats on Michael Carter, the cornerback, have been ridiculous. So far this season, you're talking about a guy, only rookie cornerback in the National Football League with at least 3 tackles for loss and 3 PDs. He's one of 13 rookie defensive backs to do so in their first 7 games since 2000. Honorable mention as far as rookies are concerned in the defensive backfield. How about Bryce Hall? He's averaging nearly 2 PDs over the last 4 games. But Michael Carter II's got 29 solo tackles. So he comes up and plays the run, and that's one of the most difficult positions in the National Football League because you're lining up at nickel where those guys are running all those option routes, and there's so much traffic. And he comes up, he's a physical force, gets his hands on footballs. He's going to be a really good one for a long time.
All right, well, you talked about C.J. Mosley. I'm going with C.J. Mosley because, look, I feel like he's been the Jets' best defensive player throughout the course of the season so far. Before he got hurt with the hamstring injury, he was 9th in the NFL, averaging 9 tackles per game. And if you think about the beginning of the year, it's like, well, what's C.J. Mosley going to be after missing pretty much the entirety of 2019, after not playing in 2020 because he opted out? Well, he's played with his hair on fire. He's slimmer. He fits this system. We know about the physical talent. Well, also, how about the mental stuff? Robert Saleh said nobody has ever made a change in this defense, talking about an audible. C.J. Mosley's like, all right, this is what we're doing. The play works out, helps the Jets get their first win over the Tennessee Titans. I feel like C.J. Mosley's played at a Pro Bowl, All-Pro level so far. He's a captain on this team for a reason. Sheldon Rankins talked highly of him the other day. I just feel like C.J. Mosley's got to be the answer for me. And with that being said, you got something?
If you had to choose an MVP, you can't go wrong going with C.J. Mosley right now.
I think that is completely fair to say. The last question here on this practice today presented by SiriusXM. Your favorite play of the season is what?
C.J. Mosley, week 3 in Denver. It's a 1st and goal. Hello, Melvin Gordon. How are you doing? Oh, my God. C.J. Mosley has registered 10 tackles in 4 games, and he's averaging 9.2 stops a game. This kind of play defines who the Jets are defensively. They're going to defend every blade of grass or every inch of artificial turf.
The hit is phenomenal. I love that play. The stadium in Denver there, you heard, when everyone's in unison, whether you're a Jets fan, a Broncos fan, the ooh. I mean, everyone was saying it at the same time. I'm going to the Titans game, MetLife Stadium. Jets win. Overtime play. Zach Wilson, Keelan Cole, the rainbow throw. Look at the toe drag as well. This was a huge play for the Jets. And I understand the appeal of the Corey Davis play earlier this game, the other Keelan Cole play, the Keelan Cole catch that didn't count against the Bengals, the Berrios touchdown that counted against the Bengals, the Jet special, the white special, whatever you want to call it. But we're trying to go off the beaten path here on practice today. And this play was sick. The throw, the ability to stand in there, it's beautiful.
You can't throw it any better. And that's a 3rd down conversion. If you don't get it there, you're giving the ball back to the Tennessee Titans. And at the time, that's a healthy Derrick Henry. And he rushed for around 150 that day, right? That was a great game, an overtime thriller. And that was Zach Wilson's finest moment so far this season. Obviously out 2 to 4 weeks, but right now the Jets are riding the hot hand with Mike White as Zach Wilson is on the mend. But I thought it was a great statement from White talking about the first person to congratulate him after the game was Wilson.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment. I would fully suggest to check it out on NewYorkJets.com because it shows you the relationship between those two guys. You would imagine that maybe there'd be some kind of tension in other rooms in the NFL. Well, not in this room here.
It speaks to the team, right? And hey, let me ask you this one: if White goes out and he plays very well Thursday night against the Indianapolis Colts, and he takes his wife Mallory out to dinner Friday, do you think somebody's going to pick up the tab? Because Mike White, nobody noticed him Sunday night when he took his wife out to dinner.
There.
Hey, you keep on playing like that in New York, they're going to take care of you, and then they're going to be hounding you for photos and autographs. But listen, what a cool moment. But now for the Jets, they got to turn the page to Indianapolis Colts.
And we'll see you Thursday night. That's all we have here inside the BetMGM studio for practice today, presented by SiriusXM. We'll see you in Indy.